Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, I'm a huge fan of the P-90 bridge rails neck combo. The P-90 with that unmistakable growl in the bridge position, the rails pick up in the neck, versatile as a government mule. Heck, remember the pickguard I put in that Kramer a year back? I liked that so much I slapped it into my old MIM Strat. But I've been looking for a more telly-like configuration because in the MIM I often hit that middle pickup while picking. And of course, because I'm always on the lookout for the
greatest mod platform of all time.
I got myself down to the old Eart website. I've heard plenty of stories about these Eart guitars, great specs in the money, spectacular mod potential, and so on. And so if I was going to do a P-90 Rails telly-like config on a budget Strat, let's see if all those reviews were right. Put in my shipping details, hit checkout, and the guitar was on its way. And lo and behold, it arrived today. Where did you go? Now, I'm not going to go too far into the weeds on this guitar. There are approximately 10.78 billion reviews for this particular guitar on YouTube. Let's crack open the box and see what's inside. Danny, cannot wait to sink my teeth into this one. I'll see you at the table. So to begin with, under the hood of the Eart YMX SG3, you got a pretty average combination of larger size 250K pots and an import switch powering 3 single coil ceramic magnet strip pickups. The Eart website indicates these are ceramic 8 pickups. I know they've typically used ceramic 8 magnets on blade style pickups in the past. My ears, these pickups just sounded pretty boring. Kind of like a set of Squire Affinity pickups. Not saying they're bad, just kind of uninspired by these. Other thing I want to mention here, you got a ground going to the body, but not so much as a drop of shielding paint. Found that kind of weird. On to the mod goods. For the P-90, we're going to go with this Wilkinson M-Series on nickel 5 bridge and on nickel 5 rails in the neck, this black P-90 single pickguard, 1WD 500K volume pot, a 500K push-pull tone pot, and finally a Fender 5-way switch. So for the wiring, I'm going with a 5-way switch and a push-pull pot so we can get a coil split on the rails and series switching for the pickups as well. Essentially, you can follow any schematic online for 2 pickup series switching. But where this deviates from those schematics is with a 5-way switch, your bridge pickup goes to lug 1 on the 5-way, so position 1 on our 5-way switch. Your neck pickup goes to lug 3, becomes switch position 3, aka the middle position on the 5-way switch. And your coil split is going to run directly to lug 5 for position 5 on the 5-way switch. Then when you pull up on the pod, you're going to get series switching for the bridge and neck hot in the first 3 positions, and then just the neck single blade and bridge in positions 4 and 5. Anyways, to get this started, we got some trimming to do on the new pickguard, so I'm just going to temporarily mate these together with a couple of screws. That sounded slightly arousing. You'll need to cut a hole in the new pickguard with the truss rod since it's at the neck heel, so I'm just doing this with the Dremel. Use whatever tool suits you best, my friends, a laser, a sawzall, that rusty old file you use on your dog's nails, etc. Keep in mind you'll need to do a bit of additional trimming as well to get this to fit under the neck heel like I'm doing here. Once this fits in place, you'll probably notice as well none of the holes line up now, so you need to fill and re-drill those holes later on. Now before the wiring, to keep the P-90 in place, you can wrap that with hockey tape or any other cloth type tape to keep it in the pickup slot while you work. The neck pickup on this one is in position 2, so we're ready to rock and roll. On to the wiring here, just a couple of key positions on the DPDT. This is your hot lead from the P-90 that crosses over like so. Then the ground lead from your neck. This one goes to lug 1 or your bridge pickup on the 5-way switch. And this one goes to lug 3 or your middle pickup. Also be sure not to make the same mistake I made here. The neck ground doesn't go here, it goes here. That could have been a disaster, folks. Unequaled by maybe anything except for that horrible pink sauce that lady in Florida made about a year ago. Now for the 5-way switch. The bridge lead coming from the DPDT goes here. The neck hot and lead coming from the DPDT switch goes here. And finally, your neck split goes here. All in all, actually a pretty simple wiring exercise. I'll of course post a link to my rough schematic in the comments. Now we're going to need a bit of shielding, and copper tape should do fine here. Get that cavity all filled up. A P-90 can be a noisy pickup at times, so this is a pretty essential step in my view. Anyways, the pickguard now back temporarily in place, not yet wired to the output, and my P-90 still held in the hole with tape. Gonna take one of these hex shank drill bits and make some pilot holes. Now after I made the final connections with my body ground and output jack, gonna put my screws and springs in place, and you just want to line those screws up in the holes you drilled and then carefully push down evenly on each side. Once you see both screws evenly sticking up, you should be set in the holes and you can start screwing these down. Grab your screwdriver, go from side to side, a few slow turns on each screw until that's locked in place. Oh, and after this, there's one more absolutely crucial step we need to do before anything else. Yes, sir, that's the stuff right here. So here it is, the final product with the all black on sunburst. I gotta say, this is looking much better than the old cream pickguard with the cheap white covers look it had before. As for the pickups, this is a heck of a fine little combo. Note all the scratches on the pickguard. Yes, I played this for about 4 hours straight and didn't stop. Check out the values now. P-90 bridge alone is about 9.36. Bridge and rails combo about 4.57. Rails hot is about 8.57, middle position. And the last two positions are about 4.35. Pull up on the pot, we get a very hot 17.65 in position 1, 2, and 3, around there. And in positions 4 and 5, you get about 13.64. Anyway, let's hear a quick and crappy sound test before the full sound demo. So there you have it, folks. The Eart Strat copy, given my favorite pickup combo and the combo it really deserves. I gotta say, I like the new vibe. I love the black pickguard and the satin sunburst finish, and with that P-90 giving a good full vintage kick at the bridge, and that rails in the neck smoothing things out, we got some sweet ass sounds coming out of this. And on the series switching, you get that super meaty bridge and neck combo in the first 3 positions, and still a hefty output with the last 2. So a mod definitely made for this guitar. As I said at the start of this video, I wasn't going to get into the weeds of talking about all the great features on this guitar, especially for the price, like a compound radius neck and stainless steel frets. Honestly, this guitar was reviewed by pretty much every guitar channel ages ago. Landon Bailey, 60 Cycle Hum, Phil McKnight, that Elmo guy from Finland whose last name I can't pronounce, Missy Elliott, Robert J. Oppenheimer. Basically, it got coverage up the wazoo. So you can check out one of their reviews. All those reviews do a great job of describing this guitar in all of its glory. So I'm pleased to say that on that note, this guitar of course lives up to all the hype of being a superb budget guitar and mod platform, and then some. With those generous routing cavities, you can pretty much drop in a set of humbuckers, 2 P-90s, an HSH pickguard, pretty much any combination your heart so desires. Sure, I mean it requires a bit of pickguard trimming, but you can always do that quite easily with a pair of shears, or gnaw at it for a while with your teeth, or however you do it, and you won't have to worry about depth, as full-size pots and switches have no issue fitting in. And besides not having to switch out any of the hardware if you don't want to, after all it's got quite decent tuners, a bone nut, and a sturdy bridge and block, you're also not likely going to encounter any of the usual budget issues on cheaper guitars like fret sprout or loose nuts everywhere. I just realized I wrote loose nuts in the script, folks. Of course, there were a few small issues I should mention as well. As you saw, the lack of shielding was kind of a head scratcher in this, considering there was a ground going to the body, essentially a ground going to nowhere, so Eart should definitely be taking the simple step-dad shielding on this guitar. And obviously the stock ceramic pickups are a bit of a weak spot in my opinion. Now I know Eart says they're ceramic 8 or Super 8 Motel bar magnet or whatever pickups they call them, but they really just sounded like unexceptional ceramic singles to me, so definitely rip and replace them. You may beg to differ, I beg to differ as well. So is this the best mod platform ever? Well, if it isn't, it's pretty darn close. The fact that it packs all of these goods into one very playable and attractive package, and does so for under $400 Canadian, I mean, where in the hell are you going to get that elsewhere? This is really what they mean about changing the equation. Finding a way to put stainless steel frets, roasted maple, and a compound neck and near premium hardware on a guitar and selling it at a price almost anyone can afford really makes all the other big industry players react, and hopefully changes their thinking around how they can get better and deliver more for their loyal customers. But that's a different story, and maybe more on that in a future video. Anyways, to sum things up, if you're looking to do this mod, and if you're considering spending just a bit more money than on, say, a Squier Affinity or a Yamaha Pacifica 012, keep this guitar in mind. It might just be the one that meets all of your needs. Seriously, you'll stand and marvel in awe at the sight of your amazing new Eart. The next moment, you'll be selling out concerts worldwide. You'll even become an invincible secret agent from Mars. Well, let's not go that far. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, and if you might find the time to do so, I would be eternally grateful. Appreciate all of you tuning into this video and going on this Eart transformation journey with me. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep on playing, and keep watching the channel for a whole lot more.